Welcome to English Practice Every Day. This is a revision lesson video of the Idiom Meaning and Origin series in which we learn the meaning and origin of an idiom and use that idiom in a couple of sentences. Please try and use these idioms in your daily life whenever you can. Let's start. Idiom meaning and origin. Labor of love. Labor of love. Meaning. This idiom refers to work or task that is done out of love, passion, or personal commitment rather than for financial gain or obligation. It suggests that the effort put into the task is enjoyable or rewarding in itself, despite being demanding or challenging. Origin. The origin of this idiom is not precisely documented, but it likely emerged from the idea that when one truly loves something, they are willing to put in considerable effort and dedication without expecting any immediate or tangible rewards. The term labor in this context refers to work or effort, while love signifies the strong emotional attachment or passion for the activity. Usage. Restoring vintage cars is David's labor of love. He spends all his free time working on them. Writing this novel has been a labor of love for me. Even though it's challenging, I enjoy every moment of it. The idiom highlights the idea that when one is driven by passion or affection for a particular pursuit, the effort invested in it becomes a fulfilling and rewarding experience. On the fence. On the fence. Meaning, someone is undecided, hesitant, or neutral about a particular issue, situation, or decision. Origin. The origin of this idiom is unclear, but it likely stems from the image of someone sitting on a literal fence, unable to commit to one side or the other. The fence serves as a physical barrier between two options or positions, and being on the fence signifies a state of indecision or ambivalence. Usage. Sophie is on the fence about switching to a vegan diet. Zoe is on the fence about which college to attend next year. Sam is on the fence about whether to accept the job offer or not. The idiom conveys the idea of being uncertain or undecided, often implying a need for further deliberation or consideration before making a decision or taking a stance. On cloud nine. On cloud nine. Meaning, someone is extremely happy, euphoric, or in a state of blissful contentment. Origin. This idiom is believed to have originated from the US Weather Bureau's classification system, which categorized clouds into different types. The cumulonimbus cloud, known for its impressive height and grandeur, was classified as Cloud 9. Being on Cloud 9 implies reaching a high point of happiness, similar to being on top of the highest cloud. Another theory traces the origin to the 1950s, where Cloud 9 was used in meteorological codes for the fluffy, towering cumulonimbus clouds, associating them with a sense of elation and elevation. Usage. Getting a promotion made Jim feel like he was on Cloud 9. Joe has been on Cloud 9 since he met his favorite celebrity. The idiom conveys the idea of being in a state of extreme happiness and elation, often due to a significant positive event or achievement. In the doghouse. In the doghouse. Meaning, someone is in trouble, disfavored, or experiencing a period of disapproval or punishment, typically as a result of their actions or behavior. Origin. This idiom is believed to stem from the practice of placing a disobedient or misbehaving dog into a doghouse, a small shelter or enclosure outside the home. The doghouse serves as a metaphorical representation of isolation or punishment for the dog's actions. Thus, being in the doghouse suggests being in a similar state of disfavor or punishment due to one's behavior. Usage. Bob's reckless driving got him in the doghouse with the traffic police. Linda's constant tardiness got her in the doghouse with her supervisor. Mike forgot to do his chores, so now he's in the doghouse with his mom. The idiom conveys the idea of being in the state of disfavor or punishment, often due to a specific mistake, wrongdoing, or failure to meet expectations. Under the weather. Under the weather. Meaning, feeling unwell, sick, or not in good health. This phrase is commonly used to describe mild illness or temporary discomfort due to sickness, fatigue, or general malaise. Origin. The origin of this idiom is uncertain, but it likely dates back to the 19th century. One theory suggests it originated from the maritime world, where sailors believed that bad weather could contribute to seasickness and poor health. Thus, when someone felt sick on board a ship, they would be described as under the weather. Another theory suggests a nautical origin, where weather refers to the windward side of the ship, which is often subjected to rougher conditions, making it an uncomfortable place to be. Usage. I can't go to the party tonight, I'm feeling under the weather. Kate won't be at work today, she's under the weather with a cold. Johnny stayed home from school because he's under the weather. Skeleton in the closet. skeleton in the closet. Meaning, this idiom refers to a shameful or embarrassing secret or hidden problem from one's past that, if revealed, could cause embarrassment, damage one's reputation, or lead to adverse consequences. It implies that the secret is something unpleasant or undesirable that someone wishes to keep hidden from others. Origin. The origin of this idiom dates back to the early 19th century. It is believed to stem from Gothic literature, where it was a common trope for characters to discover hidden secrets, often literally hidden behind the walls or in the closets of old spooky mansions. The metaphorical use of skeleton in the closet emerged from this literary context, referring to unpleasant truths or secrets hidden away like skeletons concealed in a closet. Usage. Everyone has a skeleton in their closet. It's just a matter of whether or not it gets revealed. Joe was afraid that his criminal record could be discovered and become the skeleton in his closet. The idiom underscores the idea of hidden or suppressed secrets that could potentially cause harm if exposed. A walk in the park. A walk in the park. Meaning, describes a task, activity, or situation that is very easy, simple, or straightforward to accomplish. It implies that something is not challenging and can be completed with little effort or difficulty. Origin. This idiom likely originates from the idea that taking a leisurely stroll in a park is a relaxing and enjoyable activity requiring minimal exertion or difficulty. The serene environment of a park with its paved paths, benches, and natural scenery contributes to the perception of ease and simplicity. Usage. For someone with Sam's experience, fixing the car issue was a walk in the park. After climbing Mount Everest, running a marathon was like a walk in the park for Tom. The idiom is often used to emphasize the lack of challenge or effort required to accomplish a particular task or activity. Too many irons in the fire. Too many irons in the fire. Meaning, someone is attempting to manage too many tasks, projects, or responsibilities simultaneously, often resulting in inefficiency, overwhelm, or decreased effectiveness. Origin. This idiom originates from the blacksmithing trade, where irons refer to metal rods or tools that are heated in a fire to be forged into shape. Having too many irons in the fire in this context would mean attempting to heat and work on more irons than one can effectively manage, risking problems such as overheating, uneven forging, or burnout. Usage. Mom's always juggling multiple commitments, but lately it seems like she has too many irons in the fire. I'm trying to balance my job, family, and volunteering, but I think I have too many irons in the fire right now. The idiom conveys the idea of taking on more than one can handle, often leading to difficulties in managing responsibilities effectively. Stick one's neck out. Stick one's neck out. Meaning, to take a risk or put oneself in a vulnerable position by expressing an opinion, taking action, or making a decision that could have negative consequences. It implies taking a bold or courageous step despite potential risk or criticism. Origin. The origin of this idiom is often associated with the image of a chicken sticking its neck out while pecking for food. When a chicken stretches its neck out, it becomes more vulnerable to predators. Similarly, when someone sticks their neck out, figuratively, they are exposing themselves to potential harm, criticism, or failure. Usage. John stuck his neck out by investing in the startup, but it paid off in the end. Beth really stuck her neck out by speaking up against the company's policies. The idiom highlights the bravery or audacity required to take risks or challenge the status quo, even when it involves personal risk or vulnerability. Fly in the ointment. Fly in the ointment. Meaning, a small but insignificant issue or problem that spoils or detracts from the overall positive aspects of a situation or plan. It implies that something unpleasant or disruptive is present amidst otherwise favorable circumstances. Origin. This idiom can be traced back to an ancient proverb found in the Bible, specifically in the book of Ecclesiastes 10:1. Date flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking sour, so doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. The proverbial saying highlights how even a small flaw or imperfection represented by the date flies can ruin the effectiveness or desirability of something valuable, the ointment. Usage. The only fly in the ointment of our vacation was the unexpected rainstorm on the last day. Everything was going smoothly until we discovered a major typo in the presentation slides, a real fly in the ointment. Make a beeline for. Make a beeline for. Meaning, to go directly and quickly towards a specific destination or objective, often with determination or urgency. Origin. This idiom traces its origins to the behavior of bees. Bees are known for flying swiftly and directly to their hive or a food source, forming a straight line or beeline from their starting point. The phrase "make a beeline for" likely evolved from observations of this efficient and direct flight pattern exhibited by bees. Usage. As soon as the meeting ended, Lisa made a beeline for the exit. When the buffet opened, the guests made a beeline for the dessert table. The idiom conveys the idea of moving swiftly and purposefully towards a goal without any unnecessary detours or distractions. Two peas in a pod. Two peas in a pod. Meaning, two people or things that are very similar, often in appearance, behavior, or interest. It suggests a close bond or strong resemblance between the two entities. Origin. The idiom originated from the visual similarity of two peas, meaning small spherical green seeds, found within a pod, meaning the seed vessel of certain plants. When you open a pod, the peas inside often look almost identical, highlighting their striking resemblance to each other. This visual metaphor was then applied figuratively to describe individuals or things that share a remarkable similarity. Usage. Ben and Julie are like two peas in a pod when it comes to their taste in movies. Those twins are like two peas in a pod. They even finish each other's sentences. The idiom emphasizes the close connection and similarity between the two subjects, often used to depict strong friendship, familial relationships, or shared characteristics. Cock and bull story. Cock and bull story. Meaning, a fanciful or improbable tale, often invented or exaggerated, that is difficult to believe. Origin. This idiom dates back to 17th century England, where it was used to describe unbelievable stories told by travelers at inns. The phrase cock and bull originally referred to two pubs in England, the Cock and the Bull, known for their patrons' propensity to exaggerate or fabricate stories. Over time, the phrase evolved to symbolize any unbelievable narrative. Usage. Don't waste my time with your cock and bull stories. I need facts and evidence. The excuse Mary gave for being late was just a cock and bull story. Nobody believed her. Joe came up with some cock and bull story about how he lost his wallet for the third time this month. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Meaning, to hope for good luck or success, often while anticipating an uncertain outcome. This idiom involves crossing one's index and middle fingers as a superstitious gesture believed to bring luck or to express optimism. Origin. The exact origin of this phrase is uncertain, but it's believed to have roots in ancient pagan rituals where crossed fingers were seen as a way to ward off evil spirits or bring good fortune. Over time, the gesture became associated with expressing hope or optimism, particularly in English-speaking cultures. Usage. Cross your fingers that we get good news from the job interview. I'm crossing my fingers that the weather holds up for our outdoor event. Jump the gun. Jump the gun. Meaning, to act prematurely or hastily, especially before all the necessary preparations or information are in place. It suggests that someone or something is rushing into a situation without careful consideration, potentially causing problems or misunderstandings. Origin. This phrase originates from the sport of track and field, particularly in sprinting events. Jumping the gun refers to starting the race before the starting gun is fired, thus gaining an unfair advantage. This led to disqualification or penalties for the athlete. The metaphorical extension of the phrase to other contexts emerged from this literal meaning, highlighting the consequences of premature action. Usage. John jumped the gun by making reservations before confirming everyone's availability for the trip. The company jumped the gun by announcing the product launch before finalizing the development. Sleeping giant. Sleeping giant. Meaning, something or someone with great potential or power that is currently inactive or unaware of its own strength. It suggests that although the entity appears peaceful or inactive at the moment, it has the capability to become formidable or influential if awakened or provoked. Origin. This phrase can be traced back to a line in Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, where Brutus says, "There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries." This passage has been interpreted as referring to a sleeping giant opportunity that, if seized at the right moment, can lead to success and prosperity. The phrase gained wider usage in the 20th century, particularly during World War II, when it was used to describe nations like the United States or the Soviet Union, which possessed significant power but had not yet fully mobilized their resources for war. Usage. The small startup company is a sleeping giant in the tech industry. The quiet student turned out to be a sleeping giant in the debate competition. Again, please try and use these idioms in your daily life whenever you can. Bye for now.